Beads fired from a toy gun and ended with a beating and a teen killed. Now his family is questioning the pursuit for justice. 3 people were originally charged with murder and felonious assault in Ethan Liming's death, but that all changed when the grand jury got the case. Tonight, News 5's Tracy Carla speaks exclusively with Ethan's father about what he says are injustices his family is now facing.
I just don't feel like I can remain silent any longer.
Bill Liming's son, Ethan, was a star athlete, an A student, a rising senior. Summer vacation had just started when Ethan Liming was brutally beaten and killed. Now, months later, his dad feels like he is being victimized by the justice system.
I naively believed that, once the people that murdered my son were caught, that the justice system would just simply handle things. We've said all along that we were confident when the facts of the case were presented, that Ethan would receive justice.
But the grieving father feels that hasn't happened.
The people who have the power to stand up for my son are not doing it, and so it's up to me as a father to speak for my son who cannot speak for himself.
17-year-old Ethan Liming and 3 friends drove to the I Promise school parking lot in Akron. Liming told me his son and another friend sat in the car, while the 2 others got out. Police say that's when a water bead was fired from a toy gun. It came from a splatterball water bead blaster aimed at a group of young men playing basketball. It was part of a TikTok challenge. Liming says Ethan's friends ran back to the car. The group of men initially ran away too.
When they figured out that the car, they were not being shot by a real gun, decided to go and confront Ethan and all of his friends who were in that car.
According to court transcripts, Ethan stepped out of the car. He was confronted by the 3, and that's when he fired a splatterball water bead. That led to the fight that killed him. Liming says his son was punched, kicked, stepped on, and beaten. One of Ethan's friends called 911.
We're at the I Promise school in Akron, Ohio.
Okay.
Our friend just got knocked out.
According to court transcripts, one of the 3, Donovan Jones, was kicking the car, trying to get in. And when he does, starts punching the other friends, trying to drag them from the car, while one is on the phone with 911.
How old is he?
Prosecutors say video surveillance captures them running from Jones. Police originally charged Deshaun Stafford, his brother Tyler, and their cousin Donovan Jones with murder. But in July, a grand jury indicted them on lesser charges. Liming blames the Summit County Prosecutor's Office for that decision. He doesn't believe all of the facts were presented. Akron police said back in June, race was not a factor in the killing.
There is nothing that we have in our possession right now, any information at all indicating that race played a role in this homicide. Nothing.
But Liming isn't so sure.
I would like to believe that race doesn't play a role in this. I'm married to a Filipino woman. She's got black cousins. When we get together for our extended family gatherings, for birthdays, for graduation parties, for holidays, we're a beautiful picture of what we hope to be as a society. But when I asked Brian LaPrinzi in the initial prosecutors meeting that I had with him, I asked him if race made a difference, if my son's skin color made a difference in the way in which they're approaching it. And he said yes.
The Summit County Prosecutor's Office told us in a statement in part, quote, Mr. Liming's accusations are not true. We met with the Liming family and their attorney and explained the facts and evidence which we were legally permitted to tell them about. At no time did the race of any of those involved play a factor in the charges. Last month, Jones entered a no-contest plea to misdemeanor assault charges. He was given a suspended sentence of 180 days in jail and credited with time served. Liming is upset, angry, and frustrated.
A source who was at the initial prosecutors meeting between the detectives and the prosecutors described that prosecutors meeting as being very contentious. Some of the prosecutors wanting felonious assault charges and murder charges, others basically wanting no charges at all, with one of the prosecutors saying that Ethan received hood justice, which was a new term to me. I was unfamiliar with that terminology, hood justice, and that, I guess, implying that Ethan got what he deserved.
The prosecutor's office says that's not true. Since June 2nd, Liming says his family has been living a nightmare. They've been harassed and received hateful emails.
We've received emails celebrating the fact that my son's head was crushed like a watermelon and laughing about how his chest was stomped in. I've been called a white moron.
Liming is calling for the Summit County Prosecutor's Office to take another look at the charges or step aside and let the Ohio Attorney General step in. In the meantime, Liming has called the FBI and asked them to investigate to find out if there is a civil rights violation. Tracy Carlos, News 5.
You can read the entire statement from the prosecutor's office in this story on our website, news5cleveland.com.